If you're doing any strength training in the gym, so any general strength training or anything more advanced like weightlifting or even calisthenics, it's important you look after your hands, because over time, obviously, as you get stronger and start to lift more weights and use your hands more, they're also going to become damaged, especially with calluses, and if you're using chalk, they're going to dry out. But most importantly is the calluses. Obviously, that's just going to occur as padding to help your grip, but eventually they're going to get to the point where they're protruding quite a lot, and that can be an issue, because if that protrusion goes too much, it can catch on the bar or catch on overhead bars and then rip out, especially if they start to get a little bit sharp and stuff like that. So it's really important that you look after your hands, and I'm just going to go through like some basics that I do. I don't do anything fancy, and my hands are not that bad. I've actually had to leave these for 2 weeks to get to the point where I can make this video, but I generally take good care of my hands and don't let the calluses build up too much. Okay, so this is as bad as my hands get in terms of calluses and dryness. And as I said, I've kind of had to leave these for 2 weeks, let those calluses build up, so you can see that it's probably a little bit worse on my right hand here. Now, if like, the funny thing about this, right, is one, you need to take care of your hands, because you don't want the calluses ripping out and then you have like cuts in your hands and it's really hard to train. But secondly, like I see like some girls with like crazy calluses on their hands, and it's like, that's not cool, man. Your guy doesn't like that, and he doesn't want a cheese grater on his meat. So start to look after your hands, and the same goes for guys. Your girl doesn't want to be caressed with some fucked up hands. So look after your hands, keep them nice and soft, moisturize, get rid of the extra calluses that you don't need, and everyone will have a good time, right? So that being said, the main tool I use is a manicure or pedicure filer, right? So this is a pedicure filer, so it's quite big. Reason I like it is because I can use it on my feet, but I can hold it, right? And the good thing about it is when you use it on your hands, it will take the callus down, but it won't take all of it away. So you need some padding, and you want to leave some padding there for your grip to be okay. But once it gets to this point, like hopefully you can see in the video. Okay, so flipping that around, just so you can see. So it's really easy. I normally do it when it's dry. Don't hold me to that. You can do it when it's wet, but because mine are not really that big, you can just do it when it's dry, right? So it's really easy. You can see how much is coming off there. And there's not really loads in the middle of my hand, but I will do that anyway. Just do a little bit of the thumb and stuff like that on your fingers. And that just takes off that excess dead skin that you don't need. So you can see how that's coming down. And these are really easy to use. They don't hurt. You don't have to use like a nail clipper. You don't have to use anything really sharp. This does the job quite well. You can press quite hard to get your hand nice and smooth without risking cutting your hand or anything. So looking at that, nice and smooth now. Calluses have come down and no protrusion, but I do have some padding left. Okay, so then doing the other side. Let's try to get that around the other way. So now doing the other side, which is obviously a little bit worse. Just really give that a good scrub. Getting a bit on the fingers as well, that might be there. And then your partner is going to enjoy holding your hands and being touched by your hands. But also, you're not going to risk ripping any calluses out or anything like that. So that's number one part of basic hand care. So I will usually do that once a week. So that's why my hands don't really get too bad. So I'll kind of stay on top of it. I'll just do it once a week. It takes 5 minutes. Then you're good. Now the second part, moisturize. I use Aveeno on my hands every day whenever I wash my hands. But obviously when you're training, especially using loads of chalk, best thing to do is to keep your hands really moisturized so they don't get dry during the day, and that will limit the amount of dry buildup, calluses that will happen from training anyway. And just because you weightlift doesn't mean you have to have horrible hands. Keep them moisturized, bring the calluses down. Your partner's going to love you, going to enjoy holding your hands, and you're not going to risk fucking up your hands from training.